Welcome to Frontline News from the University of Maryland School of Medicine News Center. I'm Larry Roberts. Coming up, a special discovery segment about the latest research to help COVID long haulers.
It means an almost daily struggle.
But first, it's graduation week for medical students. The students gathered in small groups at Davidge Hall for an informal hooding, photographs, and socializing prior to a virtual ceremony. It was a chance to spend some time in person with their teachers and reflect on their accomplishments during a year dominated by COVID.
It's been a strange last year, obviously very different than the normal, but I'm just so grateful to have finally gotten here and arrived and graduated, and I'm just really excited for the new adventure that's coming next.
It's been a long time coming, and you just want to try to bask in all your accomplishments and all your success, especially with your friends and whatnot. So all in all, I'd say it's a pretty good feeling.
So I'm super excited to be here finally today. It's been a crazy past 4 years of all of medical school. A little surreal that we're here at the end, but I'm so happy we were able to find a safe way to, celebrate this really important milestone.
With classes conducted almost entirely online, it was a challenging year for medical students, to say the least. But they persevered with calm and resilience.
They have been adaptable, flexible. I think as educators, we always hope that our students will truly embrace their education, and they certainly have done that in every possible way.
Oh, say, can you see?
The virtual graduation ceremony was complete in almost every way. While it was online, it was no less meaningful.
You could not be joining the ranks of the medical professionals during a more critical time. You're truly needed, and needed right now.
Our society is being rocked by existing existential threats: COVID-19 pandemic, impacts of climate change, and an awakening to centuries of systemic racism.
We must use our voice and newfound roles as physicians to correct systemic racism and our communities, even when it may seem insurmountable.
Throughout these challenges, it has truly been inspiring to see how our class mobilized to help out in any way we could during this pandemic, from volunteering in the hospital and in our communities to coming up with innovative ways to improve patient care.
Dean Reese is proud of what graduating students accomplished in these trying times.
I'm equally proud of our faculty who made an unwavering commitment to educating our students under extreme circumstances and ensuring that they are well prepared to become our future physicians, scientists, and allied health professionals, as well as academic leaders. Finally, I also want to acknowledge our exceptional leadership in academic affairs, led by Vice Dean Dr. James Caper, as well as our tremendous leaders in student affairs, including Dr. Donna Parker, Dr. Joe Martinez, Dr. Kristen Rivas, and Dr. Kerry Tom, for their unprecedented work and accomplishments.
In a special discovery segment, School of Medicine clinicians and scientists are teaming up to understand and treat COVID long-haul symptoms. A year after contracting COVID-19, Rick Dressler still suffers from shortness of breath, headaches, and brain fog.
Definitely memory loss. I was, in my careers, while I did write things down, I never had to write things down on the spot, but now I write everything down.
The fact that you still have abnormalities on your CT scan correlates with your degree of symptoms.
Rick is one of many COVID long haulers being treated by Dr. Andrea Levine in her post-COVID practice.
A lot of what I do is reassure them that these are real symptoms, that we're hearing from every country around the world that had COVID, that people are continuing to complain of these symptoms.
You're going to be asked the meaning of some words.
Hoping for answers, Rick is participating in a research study co-led by Dr. Linda Chang. The study is designed to measure and understand post-COVID symptoms.
We do functional MRI on them. We do what's called MR spectroscopy that measure the brain chemicals. We also have techniques that measure brain oxygenation.
Dr. Chang believes brain inflammation may be to blame for Rick's brain fog.
Patients who have inflammation in the brain oftentimes will react slower to remembering things.
Rick took a battery of tests to measure 7 separate areas of cognitive function.
Touch the picture of banana.
He also took tests while undergoing an MRI of his brain. so that changes could be detected in real time.
You have a screen that you can see. They might show you a letter, and if it matched the preceding letter, you had to press a button. That memory game should have been easy, and it wasn't.
In Rick's brain scan, Dr. Chang can see obvious evidence of inflammation.
You see these white spots here? This is a big one, and then there's some little small ones too, and there's even one small one here. So this tells me, because of where it's located, that at some point your brain wasn't getting enough perfusion, like wasn't getting enough blood flow.
As part of the study, Rick's spinal fluid is being tested at the Institute of Human Virology. Researchers are looking for signs of inflammatory cells.
And looking at those inflammatory cytokines to try to figure out which cells, T cells, B cells, NK cells, other kinds of immune cells, which of those are generating these pro-inflammatory signals that might be leading to this damage.
Today, Rick is trying to enjoy life while adjusting to a new normal, one that he hopes will not be permanent. And he's urging people to support COVID research.
So if anyone has the means to donate to these really excellent studies and ideas for studies at a really excellent institution, then let's do it. Let's get them going.
That's Frontline News. I'm Larry Roberts. I hope you'll join us again in 2 weeks.